In 2010, a dark fantasy found footage movie was released in Norway. The film contains many references to Norwegian culture and particularly to Norwegian folklore. Among them is the belief that there are different species of trolls. These are described as large, old, strong creatures with tails, but slow and dull-witted. They live in the forests and mountains of Norway. And here's the recap. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I am going to recap the movie. On October 13, 2008, Filmmakers AS received a package containing 2 hard drives with 283 minutes of footage. This film is an edited version of that material shown in chronological order, and the images have not been manipulated. For more than a year, a team of investigators tried to determine if the material was real. The conclusion was that it is. A group of students from Volda University sets out to make a documentary about an alleged bear poacher named Hans. The group asks local hunters about Hans, but it seems the hunters don't like him much since Hans is an unlicensed hunter.
If I see him again, there'll be consequences.
Among the documentarians are Thomas, Johanna, and their cameraman Kali. One of the locals tells Thomas where Hans lives, so the group waits until the hunter appears. Thomas tries to interview him, but Hans refuses.
Leave me alone.
Maybe we could come back and
The group notices that Hans's Jeep is all cracked and has claw marks on it. At night, they see Hans leave and follow him, but lose him along the way. So, they return to the trailer to find out what's inside.
Some furry things hanging down from the ceiling.
The next day, they head to where another dead bear was found that morning. One of the local hunters says he asked the other hunters if they shot the bear, but no one did. He then shows that the tracks in the dirt don't match the way bears walk, so he theorizes that someone killed it elsewhere and brought it there. Finn Haugen, head of the Norwegian Wildlife Board, completely dismisses the hunter's idea.
Why are they in doubt?
You'd have to ask them. I don't get it. It's totally crazy. That's speculation if you ask me.
The group continues to follow Hans, hoping to get an interview with him. They follow him persistently until Thomas approaches with a hidden microphone to try to ask him some questions, but Hans refuses. Thomas directly asks if he shot the bear,
You shot that bear, didn't you?
but Hans only asks them to leave him alone. Even so, the group doesn't give up and continues to follow him. It gets dark, and they end up in a forest where they shouldn't be.
No trespassing, blasting area.
They get out of the car and start walking through the forest, finding Hans's truck but not Hans. As they go deeper into the forest, they start hearing strange noises and see flashing lights. Then Hans comes running and yells. The team runs back to the truck and realizes that Thomas was bitten by something. Hans helps him with the wound and helps the team out of the forest. On the way, they notice that their car is wrecked and covered in slobber. Hans says he knows what could have done this. The students, having heard him shout, "Troll," think Hans believes in trolls.
Hey!
Hans confirms it, although Thomas and his group seem skeptical. Even so, Thomas asks Hans if they can film him, and Hans agrees.
On one condition only, that you do exactly as I say, no matter what I say.
The next day, the group is ready to do whatever Hans says. He asks if any of them believe in God or Jesus because a troll can smell the blood of a Christian man. Conveniently, they are all atheists. Back in the forest, they realize that Hans was the one who put up the no trespassing signs. Before going further into the woods, Hans tells them to bathe in a river to hide their scent and then cover themselves with troll scent to go unnoticed.
Are you ready?
Yes.
You're all greased up?
Hans wields a flash weapon, a device that emits powerful UV rays to simulate sunlight and turn trolls to stone, though he mentions that sometimes trolls just explode, depending on their age. In the forest, they find troll urine. Hans calls the vet, saying it's strange that the trolls are outside their area, and she asks him to get a blood sample from the troll to figure out what's going on. Hans asks the group to wait while he ventures further into the forest to find the troll. The students wait, though they still don't believe in trolls.
I feel sorry for him if he really believes in trolls.
After a while, lights can be seen in the distance, and growls can be heard. Suddenly, Hans comes running, being chased by a three-headed troll, which Hans called a tusselad. The students, seeing it, can't believe it and start running through the forest, being chased by the troll. The cameraman falls and is left alone. Everything goes dark, so he turns on night vision and realizes the troll is still nearby. He starts running, looking for the group while simultaneously hiding from the troll. He manages to find Thomas, and the two find Hans. The troll finds them, and they flee until they reach the car. There, Hans manages to turn the troll to stone with the ultraviolet lights. Johanna comes running, excited to realize that the troll stories are true. Hans suspects that one of the students is Christian since the troll could smell that one of them was, though the group denies it. Hans tells the students that he only let them accompany him because he's tired of working for little compensation and wants them to reveal the truth. In other words, he's paid poorly, and he said, "Screw it, I'm done." The next morning, Hans crushes what's left of the troll. Finn, the guy from before, arrives, and we find out that Finn actually works for the troll security service. Not only that, but Finn and his team are the ones who bring the bear carcasses and plant the fake tracks the hunters found. Finn threatens the students to take their tapes.
If you think I'm gonna let you keep those recordings, you're wrong.
Thomas interviews Hans, who tells us that his job is to kill any troll that leaves its territory and gets close to people, while Finn's job is to cover up the existence of trolls. He also explains that the trolls have been acting aggressively lately and have begun leaving their territories more frequently than usual. Later, Hans tells us that there are two main types of trolls, mountain and forest, and within them, subgroups.
Ringlefinch, Tosserlad, Rhyme Tosser, then you have the Mountain King.
As an interesting fact, our pal Hans tells us that trolls don't have three heads like the one we saw, but they are born with one, and the other two are protrusions used to attract a female troll or to scare off other trolls. Also, trolls are not intelligent. When they enter Hans's trailer, they see that it is covered in troll tails, which Hans uses to avoid being detected by them. The students accompany Hans on another hunt, while Thomas says his wound hurts, but according to him, he's fine.
Maybe we should check it out. Go see a doctor.
The next day, we see how Finn lies to people by showing Russian bear tracks on television, misleading people since there is a troll nearby.
He'll be back tonight.
At night, Hans uses live goats on a bridge to lure the troll. The troll appears and eats the goat. Hans makes more noise to attract the troll and tries to draw its blood. Although the troll gives him a good beating, the group helps Hans get up, and he approaches to draw the blood. With the ultraviolet lights, he makes it explode, but he also manages to get the blood sample, which he takes to the vet, who also works for the troll security service. When examining the blood, she discovers that it will take several days to get results. Days go by, and they continue searching for more trolls. Thomas tells us that mountain and forest trolls fight each other by throwing rocks, although in the place where they are, there are no signs of a war. Hans and the students go to a farm that was in the local news because several trees have been uprooted. The locals think it was a tornado, but Hans knows it was a troll.
And how could no one see a huge beast rampage across a field and tear down trees like this?
So they wait until night to take a walk through the forest in search of the creature. Hans and the film crew find troll tracks in the forest. The tracks lead them to an abandoned mine. Inside the mine, there seems to be nothing, but walking further in, Hans realizes that the mine is a troll lair.
Not just one troll lives here. A whole pack. This is a lair.
Just as they're about to leave, they start hearing noises, and the group realizes that the herd of trolls is returning to the cave, trapping them inside. The group hides from the trolls, and we see that Kali is terrified, covering himself with as much troll scent as he can. He confesses that he is the Christian.
I'm Christian. We're gonna die.
The trolls smell him, and the group runs out of the cave while Hans attacks them with the ultraviolet light. Everyone is saved except Kali, who gets trapped and killed before he can escape. Thomas and Johanna mourn the death of their friend. Hans tells them that if they want to stop, he understands, but the team decides to continue. Later, Johanna confronts Finn, who tells her to stop filming. Johanna asks why he doesn't want people to know about the trolls, but Finn refuses to answer.
People have a right to know what's going on.
No, as a matter of fact, they don't have a right to know.
The group then hires a new camerawoman named Malika, a Muslim girl. You know why, since trolls only sniff out Christians.
Muslim is okay, right?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
At Finn's request, Hans and the group head north to troll territory to control a troll that is out of its zone. The group finds signs of a Jotun, a giant mountain troll standing 61 meters tall. Hans tells us that the power lines are actually electric fences to contain the trolls. Since he doesn't know how they got out, they head to the power station where they are told that indeed, hundreds of meters of the fence fell in an area about 3 weeks ago. The group continues investigating using the map, but they haven't found signs of trolls. At night, Thomas starts feeling unwell. In the distance, a rumble can be heard. Hans says the troll seems angry. Then the vet calls Hans, telling him that the troll's blood sample tested positive for rabies, meaning Thomas has been infected by the bite he received several days before. In the distance, the enraged troll can be seen walking. Hans distracts the troll just to shoot it with light rays, but the battery runs out, only making the troll angrier. Hans tries to tire the troll out so he can hit it with more ultraviolet rays. On the way, they find a guy and help him. Hans shoots the troll again, but it still doesn't turn to stone. So Hans heads towards the troll to deliver the final blow. He fires a UV missile that turns the troll to stone. Finn and his agents arrive to confiscate the students' tapes. Thomas flees with the camera and collapses by the side of a road as the tape cuts off. No human bodies were found in the mine, and the students have disappeared without a trace. Sometime later, the Norwegian Prime Minister acknowledges the existence of trolls. And that's how the movie ends.
Norway has trolls, so more power lines will be needed. That's just the way it is.
Okay, that's a wrap.